The one thing I want everyone to know, I want them to know that those 15 people mattered and that they were never forgotten by their country. And I feel a great sense of honor to be among the group of men that are going to bring those people back home. I think that's it. This island, at one time, had 50,000 residents during the war. The only remains left are mostly these slabs, which litter the island. At the time of when we started to think about looking for a slab, we thought maybe there might be 20 or 30, maybe something like that. No, thousands of slabs built in different times that are now vacant. It has nothing. We have no idea about what was there other than some maps that we've been able to secure. So hopefully the slab that we've identified as the slab will actually be the one. In fact, and the only way to prove that is if we find any kind of remains under it. So we'll find out.
Here we are on the other side of the world in Micronesia in the country of Chuuk. We're in Truk Lagoon, searching an island for the remains of 15 Americans who were innocently murdered prior to the beginning of World War II. We've been here now for about an hour and a half. It's hot, it's humid, but their preliminary research indicates that the facts are supporting the research. This is to repatriate 15 dedicated Americans who were innocently murdered simply because they were trying to do their job or they were trying to travel to another country. But the ramifications of this could be limitless. This could be the first act of war by the Japanese against the United States 3 years prior to Pearl Harbor. This could be the world's first skyjacking.
What do you feel that we've discovered today?
I think we've discovered remnants of the original slab, the one that has been missing for about 80 years. We finally discovered parts of where it is. It's here. So that means if these are here, then maybe some of the remnants of the remains of the passengers and crew are also here.
Look at this line. This is an embedded. Oh, if they used, that's the chicken mesh they put over, and this is metal that somebody laid in the middle of this Atlantic Ocean, and then they laid this concrete, and you can see one. I mean, in fact, if you look, it looks like mesh. That's not solid. See the hole?
Okay.
And see the regular.
So we need to bust that up.
Screen. Yeah, there's a screen. Somebody put in the middle of it.
Right.
Well, this is why I'm looking for, like, you can see the screen line goes right down here. This piece needs to be moved out and broken up.
Okay. So what we need to do is we probably, at the end, need to send this to a lab to do analysis. But what I'm thinking is just a piece of human finger, anything could be in the middle of this thing. And this is really all I need. I don't need to dig up everything because we don't have the equipment.
We can let the dog do another thing like the dog's doing. If that needs to be moved out of the search area.
You know, we want to take this one and I want to take this little piece. And this is all for now that we would need to take with us, because I think this, given that everything could be deep, and now we would need a. So we don't have one. Okay, so there was a 30 by 60 foot slab like this here, 1970, pushed right here. And I'm looking for all this concrete and I don't see it. And I'm thinking that the mud flow from the mountain came and covered a lot of it. I think we're gonna bring back the rock sample that we're gonna pull anything from. And if we find something, then that's the next level of bringing, you know, raising money to bring a backhoe and dig all around here and do it that way, because there's no way hand tools. I was hoping we were gonna find something to pour into those things, and we just don't have it.
And so I'm just watching at a distance, and then when you come up and you're carrying these big rocks, and somebody told me there's chicken wire in the rock.
To be able to have that one piece of foundation pulled up and actually see that wire mesh in there, I thought that was pretty amazing, because that's not common from that period of time to do that. So that, to me, that was a specific, like, wow, that's a big find.
What we've been looking for all along is a solid piece of physical evidence. Hold your hand out. We got something to put in it now. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it now. But then the next piece that came up has part of a shoe embedded in the cement. Well, how'd that get there? Could that have been the shoe of somebody that was buried in the cement?
To be able to pull up that flag and then have them dig up and find the other piece of rock that had what really looks like a rubber shoe sole, right? And even with the heel imprint, to me that was probably even bigger to me. I thought that was like, wow, this is amazing. If that's a shoe sole, then they're there. They're there.
Well, you've got the groove that the rubber runs along right here, but there's actually a indent right here that's like a convex shape that goes right through here too. And look how close it is to this top. So this is all crude here, so this is maybe a top, could be a bottom. You can see it go right here. Then the sole's right there, or whatever that rubber is. If you look in there, it curls that way a little bit, the very end here, where this is wider.
So now there's other artifacts that we brought in with us. We're going to send to a forensic anthropologist, have everything analyzed. I think we have finally found what we came for. The fact that we found concrete with chicken wire in it, which is not common, and the fact that we found a shoe as well as the print in cement from the site, I think this is 100% success.
The secrets are buried there. When I stood there, I could feel it. You see the caves, you see the timelessness there. I believe that that is where the secrets lie.
This was the hardest part of the entire adventure, is that trying to find secrets, trying to find hidden things that had been hidden for 80 years, buried, literally buried on a small remote island in the middle of the ocean. Trying to put together maps and logistics to converge in one place to literally dig to find the remains of 15 Americans whose families, some of which are still waiting for their parents to come home. It's a massive responsibility for that, a great challenge, the greatest challenge of my life. I think of everyone on this team, it's been their greatest challenge, and I believe we're going to pull it off.
Look at that shape. That's a really interesting shape. Represents something. We should remove that carefully and have it tested.
Now look at that.
I think they're definite pieces of evidence that could help solve the mystery. To me, that's the success and the win of what we did. You know, to me, the bigger thing is those families. You know, their loved ones have been missing for over 85 years with no answers. They don't know anything. And being able to provide answers finally to those families and loved ones, that would be the biggest thing to me.
Imagine the impact of finding these 15 passengers and crew who've been lost for 80 years. Immediately, the families that have been waiting for the return of their loved ones, their fathers, brothers, and husbands. We get a chance to reunite these families even after the death and put them together again. This is something that they've always wanted.
For me, it's just an opportunity to help 15 families and potentially change history to get it right. My whole professional career has been about rule of law. And if the Japanese kidnapped and murdered 15 Americans in 1938, the world needs to know that. The truth needs to come out.
To know that there's this group of individuals that are still passionate about it, that still care, that are still in touch with these family members to say, your family matters, and their sacrifice matters, and we're going to help find them, was incredibly powerful for me to find out.
If I had one thing, and one thing only, to tell someone about the Hawaii Clipper, what would that one thing be? That it mattered. That it mattered. It matters to me personally to solve this mystery because no one else is going to do it. My team and I are the last ones on Earth that I know of that can and will do this.